Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live watch along show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for today. We are set to watch Liverpool's pre-season fixture against Yokohama FM in Japan. So we'll continue our preparations in our Asia tour. So what we'll do now, we'll review the lineups. I can see the players are walking onto the pitch. I believe it's evening time there, seems quite dark. Um, so yeah, let's see who is starting for both teams today. So we'll start with the home team, and you've got Park and goal, you've got Matsubara at right back, you've got Botina at the left back, then you've got Aziyangbi and Suzuki, and then your double pivot, you've got Deng and Yan, and then in your advanced three, you've got Kida, Tanimura, and Amano, and you've got Elber, the Brazilian, up top. And for Liverpool, which is the lineup that we're looking forward to the most. And Mamadashvili starts in goal, and then in your back four you've got Kirkes, Van Dijk, Konate, and Conor Bradley. So interesting selection there for right back. And then you've got Cody Gakpo playing in midfield. I don't think that's correct, but as the game begins, we'll touch on that very shortly. And then you've got Groundberg in your centre midfield role, and then you've got Szoboszlai on the right hand side. Up top, you've got Verts on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right, and our new signing in Hugo Ekitike as your main striker. So I don't think this is the right formation personally. I see it being with Gakpo's on the left, and you've got Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in the double pivot, then you've got Florian Verts in your number 10 role. So Google have got this formation completely wrong, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, in terms of the bench, for the home team, let's go quickly. So you've got Watanabe, Yunaka, Sandy Walsh, Kato, Inoi, Ryomi Miyachi. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, he's actually a former Arsenal player, he's a young player there a long time ago. I think he was in his early 20s or even late teens. So pretty much was a young signing for them back in the day. Then you got Dean David, you got Yamain, you got Aroha, you got Kimura, Sawama, Matsumura, and you got Asada, and you got Yamamura. So that's the Yokohama bench. Now, in terms of Liverpool, we've got the Japanese midfielder in Wataru Endo. You got Darwin Nunez, you've got McAllister, who makes a return to the squad, which is great to see. And then you've got Curtis Jones, you've got Harvey Elliott, Simicas, Robertson, Frimpong, Woodman, Pekshi, and the star boy at the moment, Rio Engomoa, Tyler Morton, Stevenson, and Trey Neone. So strong bench. I expect to see a sort of second string later on in the game. One player to look out for Yokohama is Yan, who is number 11. They presented him in a double pivot role. I think this is incorrect again. I might have to use a different website next time because they're getting their formations completely wrong today. He's actually a right winger from what I know, and he's one of their top scorers in the league. So yeah, incorrect position there, but we'll leave it at that. Um, in terms of score predictions, I don't think score predictions are too much of a big deal because for us, it's more about the performance, how how fit the players are, how are they forming partnerships. We've got a lot of new players in the team, so that's the key today. That they perform to a certain level, to a certain intensity, but at the same time, we want to see some good pattern of play, and we want to see relationships formed on the pitch. So when the season starts, we are raring to go. So should be a good game today. Kickoff should be starting very, very shortly. The players are having a few words in a huddle before kickoff. So in terms of score predictions, I'll go for 3-1 to the rest. That will be my score prediction. I'd love to see Ekatiko in the score sheet today. Florian Wirtz as well. And let's say a Mohamed Salah goal as well. That would be nice as well. So excited to see Szoboszlai play today because for me, showed a good account of himself. Last week scored a spectacular goal. Exquisite finish from the Hungarian. So should be an interesting game today. So let me bring the scoreboard up for you guys, and then the game has begun. You've got Van Dijk, long ball up top. There we go. Slot on the touchline there, alongside his new assistant in Gio Van Bronckhorst. Oh, great first touch there from Ekiti. A lovely first touch, can control. Unable to get past the Japanese. Oh no, the Colombian defender that was, I believe, was Botina. But lovely through ball from Salah up top, and the control, exquisite control, honestly. Ekitike currently wearing number 54. He hasn't announced his official shirt number. That will be, I would say, presented once our new partnership Adidas is revealed to the world this Friday. So the likes of Turkey, Frimpong, Verts, and Ekitike, as well as Pecci and Woodman, would also get their official shirt numbers. But some of them might still wait because Luis Diaz, his deal to Bayern Munich was made official to Amano with the left-footed volley there. Almost hit the target, but it got deflected by Van Dijk for a corner kick. Sorry, back to Luis Diaz. So because of his transfer to Bayern Munich, the number 7 shirt is available. So the big question is, who will take that number? Would it be Verts? Would it be Ekitike? Uh, I think it would be Verts. Personally, I think he'll get that number. Um, and of course, there will be other departures. You'll get the likes of Chiesa possibly leaving, Harvey Elliott possibly leaving, Darwin Nunes. So those three shirt numbers into the number 9, number 14, and number 19 will be available. So maybe a number 14 would appeal to Ekitike, for example, or number 19, in fact. And then you've got, hold on a second, guys. Oh, good play between Ekitike and Szoboszlai. They're trying to thread it to Salah. Salah unable to release the ball there. Groundberg to Salah. Salah to Conor Bradley. Konate, still uncertain in regards to his Liverpool future. Really hope he signs a new contract. There is no place to go right now. I know he's linked with a move to Real Madrid, but Liverpool, by far is the most exciting football project in world football right now. So, why leave? Why change ships when, you're part of something very, very exciting? But we'll see. We'll see what Konate ends up deciding. Gakpo on the ball. Nice pass from Bradley. Bradley on the underlap. Salah to Gakpo to Groundberg. Gakpo in a central position right now. Suppose like, can he get it? Yes, he can. Slides through. Salah on the right hand side. Cut back pass towards Bradley. Bradley with the low cross. Blocked there by Ozzie. So far, very positive from Liverpool, playing a bit more on the front foot, which is what I wanted us to produce, in upcoming games. That's the way we should start games. Try and kill teams off in the opening 10, 15 minutes. And then that way you can manage the game a bit more sort of strategically rather than play catch up. We did concede quite a few goals in the early 10, 15 minutes last season in certain games. So that's something that needs to be improved going into next season. Szoboszlai showing great energy, great tackle there off Jan. Flowing verts, attacking from the left to Granberg, or sees the I gets nutmegged and then fouls the opponent. Free kick to Yokohama. Cheeky nutmeg there from Amano. Play resumes. Yokohama goalkeeper Park hits it up top towards Elbert, who's attacking that left flank right now. Foul back and onto a free kick to Yokohama. Just coming ahead from Hooks 19. Big up yourself, Hooks 19 says watching you at N90. Well, big up yourself. Thank you for watching myself and N90. Appreciate your support as always. Yokohama set to take the free kick from the left hand side. Player still measuring his his execution right now. Let's see what he can produce. Left foot. Nice cross. Fantastic cross. Header there from Botina. Okvionis, the left back, number 13. Mamdashvili on the ball. Nice pass to Granberg. Oh, poor control from Granberg. Not as smooth of pitches. You can see the ball bobbling quite a bit. Bradley driving the ball. But took too long to release it. But finds Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai to Gakpo. Gakpo shoots. Oh, he's hit the post. Very unlucky from the Dutchman. Verts still has the ball. So unlucky there. Lovely executions. Pretty much side footed towards the near post. And in the end, hits the crossbar, but unfortunately doesn't go inside. Decent effort there from Cody Gakpo. Just got a comment here from Raz. He says, "Hi, I'm on holiday, so can't watch the whole match anyways. What are you expecting from the match today, and are you surprised the starting lineup is so strong?" Well, big up firstly for tuning in and sending a comment whilst you're on holiday. Really appreciate that. Um, and in terms of what I'm expecting us to produce a good level performance like we did in the first half of against AC Milan. I know we didn't win the match, but I was very impressed in terms of the dynamics that was produced on the pitch, the intensity that we played in. So I want more of the same today. And am I surprised that we've gone for a strong lineup? Not really, because we need to try and embed as many of the potential starters early on in the preseason. So we've not got that long left. We've got about 3 weeks left until the season begins. So instead of just playing with a youth team in the first half, it makes more sense to have your best players in the first half, and then in the second half we can rotate and you know have a mix of youth and experienced players in the second half. So, not surprised. I think that's the right way to go. But yeah, I'm excited to see how Liverpool perform today. What kind of um, partnerships we're able to build today. So it should be very, very intriguing. Just got another comment here from Hooks 19. He says, strong team for first half. Yeah, I agree. It is a very strong team. Could be an indication of the team that starts, in our first game of the season. But hopefully Liverpool can make some new additions. Until then, Isak seems to be the talking point right now. The player's gone AWOL, isn't answering his messages or turning up to training grounds or anything of that nature. So looks like he's frustrated and looks like he's trying to push for a move to Liverpool. So hopefully, we'll get some new additions before the start of the season. We don't have too long left. We've got Atletico Bilbao is in our next fixture next Monday on the 4th. Interestingly, we're playing twice on the same day. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a watch along for both fixtures, but I would definitely try my best to do one or the other. And then you've got the Community Shield on Sunday, the 10th of August, which should be a good fixture. And then we face our first opponent of the Premier League, and that is against Bournemouth. So yeah, so not long to go. We've got one match against Atletico Bilbao. I know it's two fixes in one day, but I think it'll be because we're having two full teams playing in that fixture, which is good because I feel like that will definitely help with our fitness levels. And then we'll be raring to go in that Community Shield fixture against Crystal Palace. Of course, it's not a competitive game, I guess, because it'll still have that preseason vibe, but nonetheless, it will still be a game that you'd want to win. You do get something out of it. Of course, it's not the end all if you don't win the Community Shield, but we like a bit of silver, don't we? So hopefully Liverpool can get that done. We're not going to be a shameless Arsenal, where they've actually counted that as one of their trophies last season. So yeah, we're not that kind of fan base, but yeah, it'll be a nice start to our new campaign. So yeah, not long to go. The first fixture is on the 15th of August. So I said 3 weeks. I'm actually wrong. It's just under 3 weeks, so 2.5 weeks. So yeah, not long to go at all, guys. So that's why I think it is wise to play your strongest teams in these fixtures, and we can take it from there. So let's see. Corner kick for Yokohama, headed away by Van Dijk. Another comment here from Raz. Raz says, from the matches you've seen on pre-season so far, which players look the fittest and the most sharpest? I think they all look fit to an extent, but in terms of the fittest and the sharpest, I have to get to Szoboszlai. I think he looks, you know, up for it even more. Maybe because of the new signing of Florian Wirtz, he feels like his position up for grabs. I feel like they will play together a lot this season. I think because of Szoboszlai's versatility, he'll play in different roles. So for me, he's the sharpest. And I have to say, alongside Florian Wirtz, considering he's our new signing, he's settled in very quickly. He looks very much sort of like sprung on in terms of how he play. Like he's not finding anything difficult. Like he's finding the right spaces. It seems to have a great understanding with his new teammates already. So for me, that's just a sign of a world class player. And I don't branch the word world class very often, but he's that level in my opinion. So right now he's just passed the ball to Salah. Salah tries to hit it through to Bradley, but blocked there by the Yokohama defender in Suzuki. So yeah, I would say Szoboszlai and Verts, they're the two that have really impressed me in terms of their fitness levels. But Frimpong's also looks sharp on that right hand side whenever he's Of course, he's not starting right now, but he will be in the second half. Verts with the shot, deflected, but now it's going to be a corner kick for Liverpool. That's the kind of position that's expected to see Verts, just outside the box, you know, either taking shots from distance or laying through balls to the other attackers. He's such an exciting player to watch, honestly. Really, really, impressed in terms of what he's produced so far for pre-season. But you know, this is just early stage. He's just getting accustomed to the team and gaining his fitness. So I feel like he's the one that's going to have a great impact for us next season. So yeah, really, really looking forward to how Florian Wirtz excels in his new team. Hooks 19 says Szoboszlai is Lot's favorite. He's multi-tool with untrainable energy, in my honest opinion. I totally agree. I don't know how long I've been watching myself on Football Talk podcast, but I've been a big fan of Szoboszlai for a very long time. So much so that I did a transfer show a couple of years ago, and I stated him as my dream signing because I feel like his skill set was exactly what we needed at Liverpool. You know, his energy levels actually surpassed what I expected. You know, I saw it in Red Bull Leipzig, but for that team, he was more of a attacker. When I say attacker, he played more on the left wing and right wing on occasions, and was more of the playmaker from a wider position. So for me, his energy levels really impressed me when he joined Liverpool. Uh, and you know, for a player that predominantly played in more advanced positions in his career, you know, for him to be adaptable to play as a number 10, as a number 8, depending on the formation. And currently, you know, he's in a double pivot as a number 6 and still be, you know, impactful. For me, he's an important member of our team. And I feel like some fans get too drawn into starting lineups and feel like once you've presented the lineup, that is going to be gospel, that is going to be the lineup week in, week out. Football doesn't work like that. It's going to be a team that will rotate on occasion, and it'll be a team where I feel like you know, you're going to see different selections, different against different teams as well. So, look, for me, the key is to have a strong squad. It's a long game. It's not for us just to have the best 11. I think we're going to walk through everyone. We've got to have the squad to try and accommodate that. So for me, you know, Liverpool in the right position right now. They're making the right acquisitions to the squad and hopefully we can add furthermore. So for me, um, yeah, I'm excited to see what Szoboszlai produces. I feel like he's quite underrated in the Liverpool fan base. I know there's some sections that rate him highly, like myself, but there's a lot that don't understand his worth. And some have, you know, shamelessly said that oh, he should be a right back or he should be on the bench, you know, throughout the season. I don't think you understand how well, you know, he's produced for us last year. Yes, he had some games where he wasn't as impactful, but maybe because we didn't rotate enough and, you know, he felt a bit jaded at times because let's be honest, Szoboszlai is one of the most hardworking players in our team. So, you know, he's human after all, guys. So we have to respect that. But that might even help him this season where if he's not starting every single game where he's playing, let's say 80% of the game, whenever he's rested or whenever he's on the bench, he could be well, you know, as a substitute, but also he can be a game changer coming off the bench, you know, with his energy levels and it puts him in a great position to not feel too overworked during the course of the season. So I'm excited about Szoboszlai, I really am. I feel like he's going to do fantastic for us. He's going to be a very important player for us, like he is already, in my opinion. And Ra says, hopefully, Hugo Ekitike will impress you today and get a goal. And yes, I agree. Saboza is an absolute machine on the pitch, 100%. So far, Ekitike has shown some neat touches right now. So he's not had a shot on goal as of yet, but I'm just waiting for that moment to happen. But yeah, it looks good so far. Hooks 19 says Slot would throw him in goal. Yeah, he would probably. I don't want to use this comparison, but he's like our Milner, where Milner can play any position and be so good in every role. I feel like you know he excels Milner in terms of ability because he's very young, he's energetic. His shooting ability, honestly, the goal he scored against AC Milan is just a tip of the iceberg. He can score those goals week in, week out. So that's what I want from him. That would be my sort of message to Szoboszlai where you know you've got that in your locker. So challenge yourself. Make sure you're brave enough when you're in those positions and take a shot on goal. It's not always about getting possession. When you're in an advanced position, especially in the final third, you got to take a crack on goal. So for me, I hope that's the instructions he gets from Slot because his shooting range, yeah, he's probably the best long distance shooter in the whole squad, in my opinion. So hopefully he can get some more goals. So far, oh, unlucky. Gakpo almost put on goal there, but unable to control the ball in the end. Hooks 19 says, Szoboszlai exposes the fickle fans, like stating him is the norm. It's annoying. I know every team has a player where he's underappreciated or appears to be a scapegoat for whatever reason, but that's very, very annoying. Lovely touch there from the Yokohama fans, uh, clapping in the 20th minute for Diogo Jota. Really, really appreciate that. It's a very lovely touch there. Um, Ross is in this match so far. Who's impressed you with their movement, first touch passing? Funny enough, the man of our topic right now is Szoboszlai. He's looked really good so far, energetic, he's been around everywhere, he's made some good tackles. He's found himself in advanced positions as well. Uh, Decent passing range, so he's done a few long balls and short passing as well. So for me, I'd say Szoboszlai. This you probably think the channel of the Szoboszlai fan club right now, but I think and Cody Gakpo as well. I think he's been the more sort of aggressive play. He's found himself in good goal scoring opportunities. He's literally just had a chance right now where he was free on goal, but unable to release the shot. So for me, Szoboszlai at the minute. Verts has shown some good passing range as well. Salah's done well as well. He's produced some good passes. Ekitike has done well. He's had a few good, nice first touches, which is always, good to see because I feel like with certain strikers, they're renowned to be known for their scoring, obviously, because they're strikers. But I like to see, how they control the ball and how they move around the pitch. And so far, XTK, very early doors, of course, but has shown good signs that he's not going to be one of those strikers where if someone passes him, he's just going to hit ahead of him 2 3 yards and just chase the ball. He's got a good control, good physique, where he's holding up the ball very well. And I feel like he's going to showcase his link up play, which is something I've seen for Frankfurt. So hopefully he can show that level at Liverpool as well, because that link up play is going to be key in terms of how we play as a collective. And of course, when in more advanced roles, I expect him to be scoring a lot of goals this season as well. So yeah, positive signs. Everyone's looked decent so far. No one's looked below par or anything like that. So yeah, I'd say the standout performer for me right now is Szoboszlai. That's the one that's looking really, really impressive today. Perkez to Van Dijk, lovely ball as always to Salah. Beautiful control from Salah as well. Trademark there. Oh, good free ball to Szoboszlai. It's wrong goal. Unable to get the ball away from the keeper. Good first touch, but I think he killed the ball too perfectly, if that makes sense. He needed to lay off a little bit ahead of him. That way he could have, go around the keeper. But good movement from Szoboszlai because he came from a deeper road there, and great eye from Salah to find Szoboszlai in that goal scoring position. And that's what I'm excited to see if Szoboszlai plays with double pivot role next season, where he can make those runs. And look, something that might sound crazy to say out loud, because we haven't seen McAllister play, it's not going to be an easy task or assuring that he starts every game. He's probably got a fight up his hands in regards to Szoboszlai, because Szoboszlai is looking very impressive in this number 6 role. In terms of his energy, his aggression, passing range, and him and Gravenberg's actually not a bad balance, I think, in the team. So McAllister's got a fight in his hand. But like I said earlier on, all of these players will get the chances. Ekitike almost opening the scoreline there. Great cross from Conor Bradley inside the box, and Ekitike with a behind goal there. I think the keeper got a touch. Let's have a look. Yeah, nice. Oh, the keeper actually saved it, so it's towards the near post. Almost finished it with a exquisite touch there. So yeah, should be Should be good going forward because I feel like Ekitike is getting warmed up now. He's got a taste for shooting out. Oh, Van Dijk for Konaté almost got himself in a good position for a header, but cleared away by the Yokohama defender. Raz with the comment says, "Okay, thank you. Enjoy the match. Keep up the good content. I'll chat to you next time. Take care. Appreciate Raz. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, appreciate your support as always. And yeah, hope to speak to you soon as well." Verts to Salah. Oh, Ekitike. Is he free on goal? Oh no, he's not. So Salah unable to pass it back to Ekitike on his right foot. Good movement and good run there from Ekitike because some strikers would actually gone past that defender, but he did really well to be in ahead behind the defender to keep onside there. Gakpo, you got Ekitike on the left hand side now, so you've got Gakpo in the middle now, Ekitike on the left. So let's see how that dynamic works because a certain number 14 might be added to the squad, and it could be a dynamic that we see going forward in the future. And also, I just remembered, we were speaking about shirt numbers earlier on. 14 might be saved for Isak, so, or he might want the number 9. You never know. It could just be a thing where Ekitiga takes number 9, Isak takes his favorite number, I guess, in number 14, and then Verts gets number 7. So that could be the scenario in terms of squad numbers. Um, Corner kick taken from Liverpool. So both like, can he shoot from the edge of the box? He does, but blocked by Aziangbi. Lovely pass from Albert to Jan. Jan Mateus. Van Dijk on the ball to Verts. Szoboszlai. Kerkez, lovely cross there. A lot of curl producing that pass there. Cleared away by Yokohama. Gakpo applying the press there on Jan Mateus. Oh, poor touch there from Aziambi. But Liverpool unable to capitalize. Good interception from Groundberg. Groundberg to Salah. Salah to Szoboszlai. Salah, long mop top towards Gakpo. Headed away by Matsubara. Liverpool have a corner kick on the left-hand side. Gakpo the corner kick. Oh, Kanate unable to guide his header on target. Flashed away from goal, unfortunately. Throw into Yokohama. Yokohama just made a couple substitutions. Interestingly, the Bayern Munich CEO Max Abel says thank you to Liverpool for being great negotiators, saying we would like to thank Liverpool for what were fair and serious negotiations at all times, which is good. We might need that relationship in the future at some point, maybe acquiring one of their players, hopefully. So, um, yeah, as in Liverpool have done things the right way, which is it's a respect uh, I guess we gain from these sort of transfers because we do things the right way. We make the right approaches. We don't do unethical tactics to tap up players, i.e., a Real Madrid. So we do the things the right way. So yeah, it's good to hear when CEO of another club speaks positively about a transfer that's just been concluded. But rival fans are getting worried with the prospect of Isak signing for Liverpool. You've got uh, Rory Jennings on Talksport saying that Newcastle cannot allow this transfer to happen. So yeah, fans are concerned. Apparently, there's also rumors circling that Liverpool have reached a verbal agreement on personal terms with Isak. It's a 5-year plus 1 year extension, and he'll be earning 300k a week plus performance-related bonuses. Gakpo the header, tried to find Szoboszlai in the 6-yard box, but unable to do so. I'm loving this performance from Szoboszlai today, where he's playing in a deep position, from a defensive point of view, but as soon as Liverpool on an attack, He's using his energy to be a box-to-box midfielder, and he's finding himself in great positions around the 6-yard box. So for me, this is quite an exciting prospect. And it's kind of like the old school 4-4-2 formation where you've got one midfielder dropping deep, the other one going forward. And I expect that dynamic to be the case next season. And it also gives you just an additional attacker in transition. So I'm liking this setup right now. If this continues, and of course, we've got to take it with a bit of pinch and salt because it's Yokohama, respectively. So it's not the highest. Oh no, Konate's made a huge error there. Yokohama on the attack. Good defending there from Conor Bradley in the end, but poor mistake there from Konate. Slight mix up with Szoboszlai, but it was his bad pass that affected that move, and Konate ended up camping into Szoboszlai. So hopefully Szoboszlai has not picked up an injury or anything, because that would not be the way to go. Baroja tried to attack on his own, but unable to do so in the end. So great defending from Bradley to cover his centre back there. Verts tries to find a Katika, slightly overplayed there. So yeah, back to what I was saying. So it looks like Liverpool have verbally, agreed a deal with Isak. The source that I'm reading from is Francois Plateau. So he's a sports journalist. So I'm not sure how credible that source is, but he was one of the few people that reported the completion of Ekitika's deal as well. So and pretty much got it bang on the money as well. So let's see, if there's any truth to that story or that rumor. Perkins suppose lie switches the ball to Salah. Lovely ball there. Bradley on the right hand side. Salah to Granberg. Granberg lose the ball there. It's not his first time. He's been a bit wasteful in possession today. Lovely pass there to Jan Mateus. He produces a cross. Oh, to Dean David. First real save of the game. And Mohamed really had to be focused there, and he parries the ball away fantastically for a corner kick. First real tap from Yokohama as well. Good header. Definitely think that was going on target, so he had to make that save. Play Gakpo, nice touch and flick. Too much on the ball there for Bradley. Throw into Yokohama. Just over 40 minutes played. Still 0-0 between the two sides. Perkez, the first time clearance there, almost found Gakpo. Ekitiga doing really well pressing on the keeper, showing his energy levels there, which is good to see. We want our strikers to press from the front, so good trait there from the French striker. Good tackle there from Konate to find Salah. Verts, lovely first touch. Verts attacking from that left hand side. So it was like before she loses the ball. Makes a crucial tackle there, but Yokohama still have possession of the ball. Roja, good piece of aggression there from Ozwrld, pushing the player down, but in a fairly manner, of course. Lovely touch from Verts. Clashed into the player, but referee waves play on. Liverpool on advantage now through Salah. Salah on that right hand side. Drives inside the box, cuts in. Slightly heavy with that last touch. Referee blows the whistle as there's a Yokohama player on the ground. And that's Kida, unfortunately, where Capel landed, his weight on the player. Limping right now, but he should be fine. Probably just needs to shake it off and he will be able to continue very shortly. Referee with the ball. I think he's giving it to Yokohama. So Quinones. Szoboszlai to Granberg. Ramadashvili, oh, risky distribution there, but managed to find Konate. Salah to Bradley. Bradley, nice through ball to Verts. Oh, heavy first touch there. Very unusual from Verts. His first touch is normally immaculate. A Groundberg regains possession. Salah on the ball. Salah to Bradley. Bradley inside right now. Szoboszlai to Verts. Verts to Bradley. Feel like Verts should have passed it to Gakpo there. Gakpo was in a more of an open position there. But that is the halftime whistle. Yokohama nil, Liverpool nil. So what we'll do now, we'll take a short break, and once we return, we will continue watching the second half of the game. I expect there to be quite a bit of substitutions in the second half, so we'll try and follow suit and see who's starting in the second half, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So grab yourself a drink, have a little snack, and we'll be back very, very shortly. So I'll see you guys very soon. Hello everyone, welcome back to the second half of Yokohama versus Liverpool. The game is now underway, and there has been a lot of substitutions which we'll try and go through together now from a Liverpool point of view anyway. So for Liverpool, let's have a look. I can see Darwin Núñez up top. So he's coming, I think he's replaced Ekitike. Other than that, let's have a look. It looks like that might be the only change so far. I thought there might have been more wholesale changes, but right now it only seems like Darwin is the one that's come onto the pitch. I can see Curtis Jones as well. So he's possibly replaced Florian Wirtz. Because I still see Groundberg and Szoboszlai there. Oh, Florian Wirtz is still there. So it's actually Groundberg. Apologies. Groundberg's the one that's been taken off. So it's Groundberg, Ekitike off for Jones and Darwin Núñez. So like for life substitutions, Jones playing alongside Szoboszlai in that double pivot. And then you've got Darwin Núñez replacing Ekitike up top. So decent debut from Ekitike. Of course, didn't score a goal, but I saw some neat touches from his performance to suggest that he's going to have an impact for Liverpool next season. So yeah, the good sort of initial cameo from the French striker. And I imagine the prospect of us adding Isak to the mix as well. Phew, very, very exciting prospect there for Liverpool. So was like nice touch to Verts. Verts just gliding with the ball right now. It's beautiful to see. Gakpo to Szoboszlai. Tries to lay off to Gakpo. I think he was split in two minds there because you had Verts and Gakpo around the same area, but I think Verts was in an offside position there. But due to Szoboszlai's energy, he's gonna find himself in those pockets where, generally when you're playing a double pivot, they're quite sort of together as a collective. Whereas I think he's going to split from the DM, which at the minute is Jones, but it will generally be either Gravenberg or McAllister, and he'll be a bit more advanced in that role. So it's an exciting prospect. It really is next season. It'll be a different dynamic to how we normally play. Ozan Kawak says, "Yes, Mr. Ozzie." Just kidding. We got yourself, Ozan Kawak. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, Nunes. Nah, slightly overplayed there for him. Just to give you a bit of notice, Ozan Kawak. So with the membership, I'm going to add emojis very, very shortly as well. So when you come on the live chat, you'll be able to add some custom made emojis just for members only. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably try and get that done at some point this week. So yeah, once we do watch-alongs, you'll have cool kind of emojis come up to use just for yourself. So yeah, should be a nice way to engage in the live chat. So yeah, look out for that very soon. Yokohama, ooh, just offside there from from David Dean there. Through on goal. Kerkez to Szoboszlai. Yeah, it was a good move there, but yeah, I think it was just offside there, to be fair. Nunes. The Japanese have literally changed the whole team, so it's gonna be a bit tricky to keep up, but I'll try my best to report the players that we have on the pitch right now. Verts, good control, good turn. He's such an elegant player, isn't he? Just the way he controls the ball and passes and glides with the ball as well. Verts to Szoboszlai. Verts with the ball now. Finds Gakpo. Gakpo on the attack. Bit of turn of speed there, but unfortunately unable to control it in the end. I like to see this a bit more from Gakpo, to be fair. Does have it in his locker, but sometimes I feel like he prefers to cut inside rather than take on the fullback. I feel like if he adds that to his game a bit more regularly, then we're going to get a different dimension on that left hand side because with no Diaz, we need players to provide us with a different option or provide us with a different type of attack. And attacking the fullback in behind is going to work. Oh my god. Lovely through ball there from Salah with the dinked pass there to Darwin Núñez, and he was onside, but the effort was poor from Darwin Núñez. And I don't know why he went with his left foot. The right foot, his natural foot, made the most sense for that finish there. Yeah, awful miss there from Darwin Núñez, but lovely ball from Salah. Honestly, his passing range today has been sublime. And we shouldn't be surprised because we watched it for quite some time, especially last season. The passes that he was doing was just literally out of this world. Made passes look very very easy on the eye. Um, the Trivela passes. That's what he was trying to do last year. The outside of his boot made it look effortless. Conor Bradley tries to play it through to Darwin Núñez. Núñez unable to get onto the ball, cleared away by the Japanese keeper. Jerkins with the header. Good cross there from Kenta, cleared away by Kanate. Jones wrestled to the ground there, but no free kick given. Not sure what happened there with the ref. Jones through ball to Darwin Núñez. Oh, what a tackle there. Um, by Sandy Walsh. I see your emoji there. I'll have custom ones as well. So yeah, look up. I've got some design. I just need to upload them. So yeah, you'll probably have them available for the next watch along, which will be on Monday, hopefully. So yeah, two matches on Monday against Bilbao. The first match, kickoff time is 5 p.m. and then the second one follows at 8 p.m. So yeah, it's going to be a long stream for me. Two matches on the bounce is the plan. So yeah, make sure to tune in, get involved in the live chat, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some good performances on the day. Oh, Yokohama have just broken the deadlock, and it's a good finish from Uneka. Nice left foot finish there from the number 14 of Yokohama, Uneka. Uniaka, sorry, mispronounced his name there. Oh, did the player get a touch? No, he didn't. Had he got that touch, that goal would have been disallowed, but no. Ooh, no, very close. But good finish there. You can see, Yokohama are a bit more fully advanced in terms of their fitness because they're currently in the domestic league. They've played about 20 odd games. So, not making excuses, but, I'm just saying that this team are a fully oiled machine right now. But it's a great test for Liverpool. We've got to try and, match them for our fitness levels and take it from there. So, got a comment here from Ozzie says, watch Real fans pick apart this preseason game like it was the Champions League final. Trust me. The comments that I saw online, maybe was lost against AC Milan, shameless behavior. Honestly, lovely pass from Salah to Gakpo. Gakpo unable to unleash that volley on goal. But yeah, you're right. Real fans, they've got a lot to say. We're spending big right now. We're buying all these quality players. Even our spending is getting analyzed. Like, how did Liverpool manage to get all this money? All of a sudden. Like, it's not all of a sudden. We haven't spent money over the years, so it's been piled up. So our money's long right now. So that's why we're able to spend big right now. And of course, it helps if you win trophies. Which certain teams aren't doing. Salah through on goal. Tries to find Nunes, but Nunes unable to create some space. But yeah, watch, the Real fans saying, "Oh, you guys can't even beat this Japanese team that are, heading towards relegation." Like it's just nonsense, honestly. But and I hope Liverpool fans aren't crashing out either, because I know last season we were pretty much undefeated in preseason. We hadn't lost a game from what I remember. And with this sort of stuff, preseason is literally about gaining match fitness. Is to get as sharp as possible in order for the real campaign to begin. That is the Premier League. So yeah, fans will always have nonsense to say when it comes to Liverpool, but we're here for it because our football will do the talking next season, and I'm very confident of that. Real McCoy, big up to Real McCoy says, "You see why rubbish Jones must go." He's just come on. Let's just give him a bit of time. I'm not on that boat. I still feel like we've got a good player there, and he's a squad player. Let's not forget that. So I feel like he gives us good options. Oh, Yokohama almost making it 2-0. Uh, decent effort there from Inouye. Look, Wataru Endo gets a huge response from the Japanese crowd, and rightly so. Their national team captain. So yeah, lovely moment here for Wataru Endo. and he's replacing our captain in Virgil van Dijk. So he gets the armband, what he should do anyway, for this, special moment as he comes onto the pitch on Japanese soil. And yes, he does get the captain's armband, which is a lovely gesture. Captain Endo is on the pitch. So yeah, lovely touch there for Endo. Nice flick there from Bradley, but Portugal ball's given away. Inouye, excuse me, number 16, Renkato to Inouye. Good block there from Konate. Corner kick for Yokohama. Corner kick taken for Yokohama. Headed away by Captain Endo. Nice clearance from Szoboszlai. Verts tries to get past the midfielder. Good interception there from Watanabe. Coming ahead from Hooks 19. Hold on a second. Curtis Jones driving the ball through to Salah. Oh, great goal there. Great play from Curtis Jones driving the ball, finding Salah, and Jones showing great awareness there, flicking the ball behind him, or should I say, just beside him. Two flowing verts, and he comes driving in, hits a low shot into the corner, 1-1 to Liverpool. So Hooks 19's comment is Jones ain't a star, but rubbish is slander. Yeah, I don't think he's rubbish. He's a rubbish player. Well, look, he's just set up flowing verts there. He's just got himself an assist. So wouldn't quite say he's rubbish, but of course, if you're not a fan, that is definitely your opinion. I, for one, don't really share that opinion. I think Jones is a good player, and sometimes you need these players in your squad. Everyone's not going to be a starter. You're going to have a player that can play different roles, and he can, you know, be a very important figure in the dressing room because he's a scouser. He's going to embody the club's mantra and philosophy. So you need players like that in the squad. And I like the fact that he can play number 6, he can play number 8, he can play number 10. Like he has a good range of ability. He might not be a starter week in, week out, but whenever called upon, he can definitely have an impact in the team. So I don't agree. I don't think he's a rubbish player. No, he's just provided an assist as Hooks 19 just mentioned. So that goal, came from him there. Calm finish there. Yeah, I love the finish there from Verts. Really calm and good to see him on the score sheet as well. Hooks 19 said, have a sip of rum and chill, McCoy. I'm not entitled to the opinion, yeah, but I think, remember, guys, it's pre-season as well. So even if we're getting gassed about certain players, we still got to notch it down and say, look, it's pre-season, right? Um, but having said that, still get excited when you're seeing players that perform really well because it's a good indication in terms of what we're expecting to see in the coming season. But no, if you believe a player is not good enough for Liverpool, then you have to state that. I would never say a footballer's rubbish, unless they're really bad. But in a Liverpool team, I don't think anyone even fits that description. So, not even being biased, we've had some really awful players over the years, but this current squad, I think everyone is at a good level, at a good quality. So for me, no one's rubbish in this team at all. So no, I'd have to disagree with that opinion there. But oh, Watara ended up unable to collect the ball there from Simicas. Great comment here from Ozzie. Comment. Was Christian Paulson rubbish, Ozzie? 100%. If I was doing content during those days, then you'd hear me probably say everyone's rubbish, and I'll be on a different sort of tantrum on a daily. So yeah, 100% he was rubbish. Um, I couldn't even hide the fact that he was pants. So yeah, he was. The day we signed, I was like, yeah, what have we done? And when we watched him, he was even worse than what I'd expected. So yeah, he was an awful signing. He really was. Terrible signing. That window was definitely our darkest time. That was the worst window ever. The only silver lining that window was probably Raul Morales, from what I remember. Otherwise, they were all awful. So yeah, dark times. But we're heading towards brighter times right now. With our current team. So yeah, we've gone through the hard times as well. We're not just enjoying the good times. We've gone through the ups and downs. So yeah, that's been the trajectory of a Liverpool fan over the years. We've gone through the downs, but we're also enjoying the ups right now, which is as it should be, because Liverpool deserve to be at the top right now. Back to the game. You've got Aroha. Oh, not a bad through ball there to David Dean, but unfortunately, weren't on the same wavelength there. Ping pong on the pitch now. I'm sure he'll make use of his space there on that right flank. Harvey Elliott as well. What's everyone's opinion on Harvey Elliott? Because I feel like it'd be worth keeping him for one more season. That's the opinion that I have. I don't want us to sell too many players as well because I feel like it just weakens our sort of squad depth. I know you've got the likes of Chiesa that is expected to leave because he's not even part of this current squad right now. Then you've got Diaz who's just left. You've got Nunes who's potentially leaving as well. I think between Chiesa and Elliot, it has to be one. It can't be both. If Elliot remains, then he's pretty much the backup for Salah on paper, but can also play the number 10 role if required. And we might need a backup number 10 because for me, Szoboszlai looks amazing in this double pivot role. And I know it's preseason. Don't. Oh, what a ball from Frimpong there. Who needs number 66 when you have Frimpong on the table? Come on. What a cross that was. And Trenioni read that ball very well with the diving finish there. Not easy. With those acrobatic efforts, they can go anywhere. But that was a great finish there. That cross, beautifully weighted cross. Look at that. That was an exquisite ball there from Frimpong. People doubting his technical ability. Well, look, here you go. That's proof in the pudding right there. He might not be Trent. He might not be doing those Hollywood passes everywhere. But what we need him for in terms of crosses from the flanks or from that kind of area, he has that in abundance. So great assist there from Frimpong, but great moment for the young kid in Trenioni. Nice finish there for the midfielder. Hook says 2-1. Reckon now to us, yeah, that's the scoreline right now. And I think it could go that way. It could finish that way. I'd like us to score a bit more, let's be honest. Or it could open the game up a little bit because Yokohama on the attack right now. But McAllister did really well to claim the ball. Yeah, Hook's 19. You certainly guessed it. That is the current scoreline right now. Rio and Gamoa, ping pong. Throw into the Reds. I was gonna come back with the comment I was literally thinking is, as I saw that comment popped up saying, Ozzie, look who our centre backs are right now. Simicast and Endo as your centre back pairing with Robertson on the left and Ping on the right. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Endo as a makeshift is fine because I've seen it, in you know previous matches. But Simicast, no way. He left too many gaps in the previous. Oh, great turn from Rio and Gamoa. This kid is so exciting, isn't he? Great piece of skill there. And look, he's saying sorry to Nunes, but I don't think he should apologize. That was a good cross. It's just that Nunes just, wasn't able to flick it behind him. But great move there from the young player there. But yeah, we need to address his centre out position honestly because it's one of those ones where I feel like we need two. And I'm not even just trying to be greedy here or being a bit, sounding like I'm privileged that we should just sign players left, right, and centre because we've got so much money in the bank. But it needs to be addressed. We've got Joe Gomez who's unavailable at the minute. So right now we've got two established centre backs. That's why we're seeing the likes of Simicast and Endo playing, in our defense right now. So it has to be done. The Mark Gay one, according to rumors, doesn't seem like it's going to happen, but I feel like there's just a bit of mind games there, and I feel like we will eventually sign Gay. It might not happen soon, but I feel like before the end of the window, I expect us to sign the Crystal Palace defender. And I feel like we need to get one more, just to add a bit of security uh to our depth in that defensive department. I feel like one more addition would make a lot of sense, but who knows at this stage? We definitely need to get one. That's a minimum. Uh, it'd be amazing if we can get two. Or maybe we get one in Gay, and then we see um who's that sort of fourth choice centre back in the future. Would love to have been Hato, but it looks like Hato could be heading over to Chelsea now. Which is a shame. I really rate Hato. But let's see. I think we need to get that Gay deal over the line. That's the one that I'm a little bit concerned because of the recent news. Oh, lovely flick there from Nunes to Frimpong. Frimpong driving the ball. Good cross. Oh, what a cross from Frimpong. Nunes not on the same wavelength. Should have attacked that in my opinion. He wasn't too far away from it. Lovely play there from Frimpong. Honestly, what a joy to watch right now. Hooks 19 saying rivals redoing their thumbnails as we speak. They definitely are. They're probably deleting it by now because they won't be doing the show anytime soon. Roman McCoy says rubbish John is the worst player on the pitch. Hooks 19 saying you're trolling now. Yeah, I think you're trolling Roman McCoy. He's got the assist. Like, come on. He's not been that bad. Like, he's had a decent game. Players are entitled to make mistakes here and there, but I don't think Jones has been bad at all. So no, I kind of disagree. Roman McCoy says I don't trust state facts. Well, the facts is that he's provided an assist for us. So for me, that's a positive. And when you do player ratings, when we go back to normal scheduling in terms of Premier League fixtures and when the season starts, I will be doing, match reaction shows and then we'll do player ratings. So hold on a second, guys. Ryan Gamoa, can he score? Oh, so unlucky. So unlucky. I thought he was going to score his first goal there. McAllister. Oh, forced to ground there. Free kick to Liverpool in a good scoring range there. Very unlucky from Rio. Let's have a look at the replay. Good interchange there with Trenioni. The commentator is saying, he could have passed it, but honestly, I feel like he did the right thing to because he's created space for himself. Nunes is a bit all over the place. He's not in a good position. He might even be offside, in that moment there. But Rio just knew what he was doing there. And I feel like you've got to have that ability, especially when it's a young player coming through. I don't want it to be where Liverpool are telling him, "Oh, just pass, pass, pass." Like, let him express himself on the pitch. Let him be that creative spark. Let him play with flair and freedom. You know, I don't want that to be taken out of the game because nowadays every sort of team that plays football, it's all about systems, right? But I want to see a bit more individuality in our players, and Rio has that in an abundance. He has that skill set within him. So for me, let him do his thing. It's pre-season as well. It's not like a competitive game, so we can't go, too crazy on him. I would anyway. And if some fans are, I feel like it's a bit over the top. McAllister free kick blocked by the wall. Simicast with a shot blocked again. And McAllister high and wide there. But no, I love to see when players do that, especially when you've got a young player of Rio's age, 16, 17, I believe. So if he's producing that right now, it only bodes well for him in the future. So for me, keep going. Uh, I think he will get his game time this season. I don't know if he's going to be labeled as a backup for Cody Gakpo because Diaz is there. I feel like that's a bit too much at this stage of his career. But he'll definitely be, part of the first team. I think he'll get some game time, especially towards the second half of the season, especially in cup games as well. That's where we're going to see Rio and Guma in action. So yeah, long, may continue to him playing uh in preseason, showing his form alongside Trainioni, who's also just scored today, but he's shown a good level as well. He's shown, he's got a different skill set where he can play in a double pivot, but even in more advanced roles, he's still got very strong skills there. So it's exciting times for Liverpool. We're signing players for now, but we're also signing players for the long term as well. So it's a beautiful sight. Um, Ozzy says Ozzy, we must sign Rio and trade to Todd Bowley style 9-year contracts. Now, yeah, facts. Honestly, you know, death row contracts. Getting them committed until they're past their 30s or something. But no, I agree. I think Rio's on the verge of getting a new contract, and Trey's just signed one as well. So yeah, get them another extension in due course, and then you just double the length like that. But yeah, we've got two players that could be future Liverpool stars in the making. And Hooks 19 said cups and prem pinch for Rio. Yeah, I think cup games 100%, and I would say if needed, prem games as well on the bench. Where if we've got one or two attackers that aren't available, then I feel like he would be a good player to have on the bench. So for me, this season, his focus should be playing for the under 23s. And if we need him, based on injuries or maybe lack of form on certain players, or we just don't have the availability for certain fixtures, then that's where we embed him. But the cup games, 100%, he should be written down on the team sheet already right now, alongside Trainioni. So yeah, I totally agree. And Trainioni is the same sort of motion as well, where I think whenever we need a player in a double pivot, he comes in and plays here and there. Of course, I don't want him to play too many games because when it comes to playing competitive games, if they make a mistake, I don't want it to affect their mentality or drop in confidence. I don't want that to happen. They're very young in their early stages of their career, so let's just embed them slowly. But because they're showing such great promise, they are entitled to make appearances here and there, and it'll be a nice reward for them, and it gives them that taste of first team football very early on as well. So look, the future's bright. It definitely is right now. Ozan Kabak says 9-year contracts, but then means only until I know. So Rio, I think is gonna get 5 year from what I've heard, and I think Trey's got a 4 year. So give them another extension to the current new deal that they have, and we can double that tally there. So ends up being like a 9 year deal. So yeah, thing is they're so young as well. Like we can't even commit them on like a because Trey's like 16, so you can't get him on a 14-year contract. That'd be a bit wild, isn't it? But no, the future's bright. In terms of these two players coming through, and there's more to come. I think there's more talent in our academy. And we signed a striker in Will Wright, who's apparently very highly regarded as well. Lovely cross from Frimpong, Trenioni, unable to control it completely. Uh Nunes tried to nick it off him, still couldn't even nick it off his own player there. Um, but yeah, very unlucky from Trey there. Hook says we got the aura to keep Trey and Rio 100%. You know, Trey signed a new contract. I'm so sure of that. I'll double check that. But Rio, I've heard he's going to get a professional contract, I guess now. So yeah, these guys they know they're in the right place. You know, Trey only wouldn't have joined us from Leicester City if he didn't think that. And Rio would have come from Chelsea if he didn't believe that either. So we're acquiring these young players from other clubs because we know, they have it in their locker. And of course, I think these two players are boyhood reds as well. I've seen them wear Liverpool shirts in their younger days. So yeah, the signs are very, very positive for us. It really is. Of course, we can't put too much pressure or expectations on them, but I definitely feel like we've got players there that can be in the mix right now, but you know, also for the long-term future of the club as well. So exciting times for us Liverpool fans. I was like I say, Maka is just toying with their midfield. Yeah, his passing range and the way he plays, very, very, exciting to watch. Hooks 19 said, Maka's my favorite, next captain, therefore. Oh, he's definitely in the mix for being captain, especially if Van Dijk leaves in a couple of years' time, which, by the way, I don't want that to happen. I'd like I like his current deal to be extended as well because he's one of those defenders where he doesn't utilize his speed, and I feel like he can go and play at the highest level for years to come. But of course, whenever Liverpool need to make that decision of a new captain, I think McAllister, if he's still, touch wood, he's still part of the club because Real Madrid, according to rumors, want to sign him in the future. If he's around at the club, which I believe he will be, he could be part of that mix as well. But even if he doesn't have the armband officially, he is part of the leadership group where, he's one of the many captains in the team right now. So not sure why Trent got there. He probably got there based on, geographical reasons where he's a scouser, but he never presented to me as, captain material. So, but yeah, I think McAllister 100%. You've seen that maturity. He was that captain at Brighton as well, I believe. So yeah, definitely has that in his locker, which is very, very positive to see, I believe. Back to the game, 81 minutes played. Yokohama 1, Liverpool 2. Ping pong on the ball right now. Dragged to the ground, a 100% free kick. Looks 19 says, if we are successful and he's captain, he won't go. Trent and Quansah were super immature. In terms of McAllister, I agree. I think um, I expect us to be successful for years to come. So uh, I don't know if the success would be the defining factor. It might be, where he's 1 second, guys, spring point across. Good block there from the Japanese player there. I think this depends in terms of Liverpool's position where I think we'll be challenging for major honours for years to come. But McAllister, as a lot of South American players, they want to play in La Liga. So if that project appealed to him in the future, then unfortunately, no, he would part ways. But I don't think Liverpool would actively want to sell McAllister because I think he's such a fantastic player for us. Gives us a different sort of range in terms of his skill set. So no, I don't even think that's an option. So no, I'm just kind of, I'm not putting that negative energy out there. It's just that I've seen some recent reports that Real Madrid would like to target him at some point in the future. Um, which I understand because of the caliber of the player. He's such a fantastic player. But he's definitely captain material. But even unofficially, when we're playing games where Van Dijk's not available, he's definitely a player that would be part of that mix as well. So, you know, sometimes some players don't get the armbands, but if they behave like captains on the pitch, that's what I'm for. I feel like he's the one that will present his leadership in every shape or form, verbally or leading by example. He's got both of those kind of skill sets where, he can act like a sort of like an unlabeled captain, if that makes sense. So for me, yeah, he's definitely got that in his locker. Ozzy come back says ping pong is so rapid, Ozzy. He makes defenders look like they're moving in sand. Honestly, I remember doing a watch along when we were linked to ping pong a few months ago when it was Spain versus Netherlands, and the way he was gliding past two, three players at a time, I was like, "Yep, this guy." I've seen him for Leverkusen for the last 2, 3 years, but because that was with other Liverpool players like your Gakpos and Van Dijk and Gravenberch, I was like, I have to watch that game. And he was up against Cucurella. Cucurella is normally very quick and he's very good in one-on-one duels. He struggled throughout that game. Cucurella had someone else alongside him. I think it was Fabian Ruiz to try and stop him. They couldn't do a single thing. So that's why I've said it a number of times. Ping Pong is going to boss that right flank. That is his zone. And the team will have to stop him because he's so rapid that he's going to be unstoppable at times, in my opinion. So he's an exciting player. He really is. Ozan Kabat says Darwin looks lost in this combination. Nobody's passed it to him. Yeah, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I'll be honest as well. I think with Darwin Nunes, he has good ability in terms of what he showcases as a striker in terms of his movement, his pace, and his sort of aggressive manner of play. But he lacks game intelligence. I've said that quite a few times in the past. When I say game intelligence, I'm talking more so about his positioning on the pitch and understanding the game in terms of how the team are playing, where to make those runs, how to interchange with players. And Gamar, have one. What a finish there! What a finish for Rio Salah, smiling on the bench right there. What a moment for the kid. Honestly, that is such a nice feeling there. What a finish from the young player there. And the goal as well. Look at the way he just went past players, cuts in, and then boom. What a finish there. Showed real confidence there. Fantastic. Such a proud moment for the player. And of course, for his family as well, to watch him. At this stage, it was crazy. 16. Is it 16 or 17? I keep saying the two. I'm not sure how old he is right now. The kid's still 16. He's 17 next month. He's 17 end of August, but he's still 16. What a special moment for Rio, honestly. Yeah, he's making us, very proud. Like, I don't even know the kid personally, but I'm proud of him just, scoring that goal. It's such a nice feeling there. We all dream of, in our younger days, becoming football players, and he's living his dream right now. And at 16 years of age, where you're not really supposed to be around the first team mix. I know in this day and age, you do see a lot more youngsters, in the first team squads, but he's just been at the club for less than a year now, and he's already made those kind of waves. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight, and a great sort of you know vision for Liverpool in the long term because this is the future right there. This is a player that could you know hit the heights that he dreams of. He dreams of winning the Ballon d'Or one day. Hopefully, God willing, he is able to do that, and it's especially a Liverpool shirt. So yeah, very very exciting. I'm getting a bit giddy here because he scored that goal, but we're seeing the potential there, and the sky's the limit for him. It really is. Um, I was like, come out and said this kid is special. He is. He really is. Hooks 90 says Darwin is a passion merchant, no clutch mentality. Yeah, I feel like this is why I feel like certain section of the fan base, they adore him because of that passion, that aggression he shows on the pitch. But for me, that's not enough to be the number 9 at Liverpool. You've got to be a goal scorer, number 1. First things first. You've got to be a clinical finisher. All that other stuff is bonus, in my opinion. So I don't think he has that game intelligence. I don't think he understands, the movement you need to make as a striker. Whether you need to drop deep or be in the shoulder, or sometimes you have to interchange with your wide players and got to attack the channel. Like he does do it, but it's not natural to him. And of course, right now we're playing, with different tactics, different dynamics, and different players as well. But when we play in the Premier League, he struggles because it's already played at a ferocious speed anyway. So if you're not glued on tactically and you're a chaotic player, you're literally running around headlessly, and that what happens with Darwin Núñez. So, and also when he's in front of goal, because of the running that he's doing and him not having the time to measure his shot, he's scuffing those chances and he's not being clinical. So that's the issue there, in terms of him not being a top striker, in my opinion. So in another league in Serie A, in La Liga, I feel like he'll do well because it's played at a slower pace, and I feel like he'll be able to be a bit more composed in front of goal, which is funny because I think he lacks composure in Liverpool shirt. But when he plays for Uruguay and in his former clubs in Benfica and Elmira, he was a more composed finisher at those clubs. So for me, I feel like the writing's on the wall. He should be leaving Liverpool this summer. I just feel like the time has come. It's run its course. Hello to the bicycle kick. Oh, unlucky. Ping pong. Trenioni. We're all going for it. Shooting practice now. And Simicaz with the cold effort just misses the target there. Hooks 19 says happy for her. Yeah, I'm over the moon for real. I really am. Richard, he said, you know what to do? 100%. uh, And that is the end of the game. I'll read the comments before we close. And Liverpool have won 3-1, and what a performance it was. We got Rio on the score sheet. We got Trey Neone on the score sheet as well. So what a very special moment for these two young players, to play today and get on the score sheet as well. So yeah, very, very nice feeling there. And then you got Florian Wirtz opening his goal scoring account. It's not in a competitive game, but he scores his first goal for Liverpool Football Club. So yeah, another big moment there. So at one point, it looked like we were going to struggle due to Yokohama's fitness levels right now, but Liverpool showed their quality in the end, and we got the win. So very, very good win there for us. Real fans can throw that scrapbook down because you know whatever they've got to say doesn't is not valid now. I'm sure they were ready to cuss and insult Liverpool, if they were to lose, but it is what it is. So yes, let's go through some of the comments before we close the show. Uh, love it. Hooks 19 said Q rivals depression. Yeah, they will be depressed after seeing that, especially when you're seeing Rio and Trey score as well. They're thinking, bloody hell, even the young players are scoring goals. Like, what is going on? Like, so they won't be able to contain themselves. Their mind is going through, different feelings, emotions, and yeah, they're not going to be liking what they're seeing because the future's bright for the short term and long term. Liverpool mean business, that's for sure. Hooks 19 said Ian Rush is a template for success. Yeah, in terms of how we play in the modern game, because you want your striker to be aggressive in the pressing, which is how we play, and of course, in terms of what he brings to the table into the hold up play and finishing, of course, 100%. So with Nunes, I feel like his time is gone, and I feel like he will probably move on. But Ekitike could, of course, use uh, those kind of traces of a legend in Ian Rush and embed it into his game. So I have very high hopes for Ekitike. I think he's going to do really well for us next season. Real McQueen says Hooks 19. You only have eyes for Nunes and blind to Rubbish Jones. Nah, I don't agree with that. I think you're being very harsh on Jones. In today's performance, he's actually done quite well. So, not sure what the agenda is, but I don't think he's rubbish. Um, and I wouldn't even say Darwin Nunes is rubbish. I just feel like he's not at the right team. He needs to play elsewhere, and that's exactly what Hooks 19 is saying, that he'll be a superstar somewhere else. So yeah, I totally agree with that. And Hooks 19 says happy for Liverpool fan in Japan. He's at the game. Oh, big up to your friend there who's watching the game live there in Japan. That's a nice moment there. Uh, Hooks 19 says, haha, McCoy has blocked me. I didn't even know you guys can block each other. Uh, that's a bit bizarre. I haven't blocked you, so that's not really, I only block people if it's, unnecessary comments there, but I don't even do that too much, to be fair. But yeah, a bit strange, but we'll leave it at that today. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Of course, the match was played at a very earlier time today, but appreciate you jumping on board and being part of the live chat and being part of the show. So shout out to Ozwrld, come back. Shout out to Hooks 19. Shout out to Real McCoy. And shout out to Raz as well from earlier on. Appreciate your engagement as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming content, I do plan on doing a transfer show later on this evening, but I'll just have to double check in terms of what's breaking news and what developments there are. But expect a transfer show later on today, even if there isn't a full agenda. We can speak about this game a little bit and then speak about any other rumors that have been circling. So, show should take place around 11 p.m. UK time. So, feel free to join and, as always, get involved in a live chat and be part of the show. So, that is it for today, guys. Stay safe, stay safe, and I'll speak to you guys hopefully later on this evening. Goodbye.